Hey everybody, welcome to the Dungeoncast. I'm Will.
I'm Brian.
This is the podcast where we talk about everything Dungeons and Dragons, from arcane amulets to Arctic auras. And today we're talking about Bahamut. The Dungeoncast. All right, Brian. So
time to make all my Final Fantasy VII references.
Oh, good, because I'm going to make a few too.
Okay.
So yeah, today we're doing a Deities and Demigods episode.
Right.
And you know what? The last three were about some really darker entities. So I was like, why don't today we just talk about a really dope dude?
Yeah, sorry guys. The D&D verse is like set up to make conflict with your players. So that's usually bad stuff. So that's what we talk about on the show is bad stuff.
Today we're talking about just a really dope guy.
Let's talk about some really dope guys.
His name's Bahamut, and he wants you to be a better person.
Sick.
So
I believe.
So Bahamut,
I believe in Bahamut.
We talked about his sister Tiamat, his twin sister Tiamat.
She gross.
She is gross. Bahamut is anything but gross.
He's clean.
Much like Tiamat, he takes his namesake from something completely unrelated. Bahamut or Bahamut is actually Hebrew for behemoth, which was an ancient like sea beast. That's all I know. Moving on. So
most likely a serpentine in nature.
I think it was like a big whale fish thing.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, I don't know. But in D&D, it's not that, nor is it anything like that.
It's a fucking dragon god.
Yeah, Bahamut is the king of dragons, the king of good dragons. He's also known as Lord of the North Wind, and of course, the Platinum Dragon. He is the lawful good deity of honor, justice, and nobility. Also, sometimes he's corresponded with prophecy, song, and wind.
Cool.
So much like Tiamat, he's traditionally a lesser deity. He has been a greater deity. I tend to have him as a greater deity in my world. And much like Tiamat, he started off as not a deity at all. And we will get into that. But first, let's talk a little bit about the guy himself. So Bahamut is most often depicted as an enormous platinum dragon with blue eyes wrapped in scintillating light. He does have other forms. When I say enormous, I mean like 180 feet long enormous.
That's
like,
pretty big.
Like 5 ancient dragons big.
Yeah, could be bigger.
Quite big. He essentially kind of traditionally looks like Blue Eyes White Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh!
I love Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, I mean that's one reference. There that is.
Which Blue Eyes White Dragon? There's like
the best looking one.
Whatever
the best. Yeah, that
There's
one.
one with like an art with like an ancient rune behind it.
Yeah, that one. That one. Sure.
Hell yeah.
Oh well, as you said,
there's one standing on like a pillar, like in the desert with the moon behind it.
That sounds like a Bahamut setting.
That one
right there. Okay.
Oh, there's one with 3 heads.
Okay, not that one.
Okay,
that's getting a little close to Tiamat territory. All right. So as you said, you played Final Fantasy VII
and Yu-Gi-Oh,
and I also played Final Fantasy VII and Yu-Gi-Oh, but
and I played Smash Brothers, where you can summon Bahamut in Smash Brothers.
You can. Oh yeah, the newest one you
Midgar,
can.
Yeah.
In Final Fantasy VII, there's actually 3 Bahamuts, the most important of which is Bahamut Zero. I like Bahamut Zero. He's really cool. He also has 7 wings. So Bahamut doesn't traditionally have 7 wings, but in my world, Bahamut's form has 7 wings. And the reason I do this is for 2 reasons. Number 1, Tiamat has 5 heads. I wanted something special about Bahamut.
Well, she gets 5 heads. Like, what's this guy gonna have? It just
makes him more angelic and godlike. It's like, oh shit, what is that?
Yeah, he's got like one is like a fucking dorsal fin.
Yeah, basically.
Just on the back.
Number 2 though is because 7 is a number that is very closely related with Bahamut. We will get into that. So I just found it fit together real nice. So that's why the thumbnail to this goddamn episode is Bahamut Zero for Final Fantasy VII.
Hell yeah.
Fight me in real life. Moving on.
Find us.
Come find us. Please don't. Actually, stay there. Enjoy the episode. Please.
Yeah, actually, well said.
So Bahamut is noted to be an exceptionally powerful and very wise dragon god thing. Though many dragons do worship him as a god, others don't hold him as, in regards of a god, but even those who don't worship him as a god hold him in extremely high respect. Even evil dragons hold Bahamut in high respect.
Yeah, you're not fucking with Bahamut.
Hell no. I would venture to say Bahamut's more powerful than Tiamat. Maybe I'm wrong there, but all the lore kind of seems to point to it a little bit.
Fight Will in the comments.
Yeah, I mean, don't find me. I'm not, if you find evidence that Tiamat's stronger than Bahamut, I'd love to see it, but I'm pretty sure Bahamut's stronger than Tiamat.
This is coming out to be like a minorly aggressive episode.
Yeah, we're like, let's not fight the audience, Brian. Jeez.
I'm gonna dial it back to 7. I was at a 9.
Yeah, you were. Okay. Originally, Bahamut was outlined as not as a deity, but as a singularly powerful and unique entity that dwells beyond the eastern wind, which basically is like, we're not going to tell you where he lives.
Hurricane winds roll through, or you're like, Bahamut, please. Like, how strong is the wind part? Because I didn't realize the wind was like a thing. It did.
It's not super high. Wait, what do you mean?
Like when you say it's like the god of wind, is that like what does it mean?
I don't know what it means, because he's not like the god of air elementals, but like he is associated with the wind. In a lot of ways, it's because I guess he has a big wingspan.
You're at the park and there's a nice breeze rolling through. And you're like, Bahamut. It's
because he flies in the sky and. Oh, okay. So
that seventh wing is what's really giving him his power.
Originally, it wasn't known where Bahamut dwells. Like, there was rumors that he dwelled either in the elemental plane of air or like in between the elemental plane of air and like somewhere else.
The elemental plane of dragons.
Ends up he lives in Celestia, which we will get into.
Okay.
But yeah, he's just associated with the wind. He's associated with song. He's associated with prophecy. But he's not necessarily the god of those things.
Oh, okay.
He just really likes those things.
I'm just into the wind. Yeah. Hell yeah.
He's the god of honor, justice, and nobility, but he also likes prophecy, song, and wind.
Cool.
So yeah, there's that. Generally speaking, Bahamut is just a really dope guy. He's just a really nice dude. Though on one hand, he is quite stern and stoic. He's very disapproving of all things evil, no excuses for doing evil kind of attitude.
He's the guy at the party that's like helping the guy that got too drunk early with like, he's like giving him water and bread. Yeah. It's like, take a deep breath, buddy. It's all right.
Yeah, he's like Dragon Jesus.
Let me open this. Let me open this window. You can feel one of my favorite things. It's called the wind.
Yeah, sure, that. But on one hand, he
let me tell you about your future.
On one hand, though he is stern and stoic about these things, he's also known for his extreme empathy for the weak and the downtrodden.
The drunk guy at the party.
Yeah, he's very kind.
Love that guy.
He most notably, unlike all other dragons, god or not, he's the only one that has no vanity and no ego.
Wow, okay, no ego.
He just doesn't. He's just not vain or prideful like all other dragons.
He's enlightened.
Yeah, he's enlightened.
He's loaning you money when your phone bill's due. He's doesn't even call you, you know. He just wants you to be okay.
He just wants you to be okay. He urges his followers to promote good, protect the weak, fight evil, and defend justice and civilization the world over.
Nice.
He just wants you to be a good dude. Furthermore, he has a really big non-interference policy. He doesn't want to intervene directly or enforce good on others. He's more prone to offer information or advice for you to do good. He'll provide healing or like safe havens, but he doesn't solve your problems for you.
Okay.
He wants you to learn to be good and then kind of share and spread that.
Okay.
So,
Dragon Jesus.
Yeah. Dragon Jesus. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He honestly, if I were to give Bahamut like a personality, like from like a fictional character I can think of, Atticus Finch from To Kill a Mockingbird, Bahamut is like him. Okay. I know that sounds extremely strange.
It has been a long time since I read that book.
Okay, it's just Atticus Finch. He's very stoic. He's very stern, but he doesn't solve Scout's problems.
Okay.
He just gives her advice on how to do so, and he teaches her to be a better person. Okay. But he also leads by example and like lives by like the higher ideals that he follows, and that is like Bahamut. I'm just telling you, Bahamut and Atticus Finch would sit down at a table, have dinner, and have a lot to talk about.
Okay, I'm gonna have to take your word for it because it's been a long time since I read that.
That's a good book.
I wasn't expecting honestly, To Kill a Mockingbird reference.
Yeah. It's a great story. It's a great story, and it's a good movie.
Okay.
Anyways, his worshippers include obviously dragons, Dragonborn, another obvious one, but also humans, even elves and dwarves. Particularly gold, silver, and brass dragons in particular worship him amongst the dragons.
Okay.
It's because
those good boys.
Yeah, they're the ones that most exemplify Bahamut, like especially the gold dragons.
Right. Gold dragons be saving the world and shit.
Exactly. You know, the gold dragons are the paladins of the dragon world. And paladins are very drawn to Bahamut for multiple reasons that we'll get into at the end. We'll probably go over like the clergy and like the dogma and all that.
We can talk about Glader.
Yeah, sure. We'll talk about Glader and how not like most Bahamut paladins he really was. But that's fine.
He's the Bahamut paladin that you need or that you deserve, and not. Wait, what is it? What's the Batman quote?
I have no idea.
That one.
Yeah,
we said that about Glader.
Yeah, we did, and that's very much what he was. And like, I was just like, you know what, Bahamut is down with that in this world because I'm not going to step on my player's toes. He doesn't. he doesn't know like the real story of Bahamut, but that's all right. So he's good. He's all these things, but very, very specifically, he's extremely devoted to thwarting his evil sister Tiamat. He answers her move for move. He's often at least one step ahead of her.
So he's a busy dude.
He's a very busy dude. He's constantly undoing the damage that she causes.
I gotta kill all these fucking weird, nasty spawns.
Yeah, it's with Tiamat that he is most likely to directly intervene.
Okay.
Yeah. It's also in some lore said that he's the one who threw her in the 9 hells because she's just like such a handful. She's like, you know what? Bam.
Okay. There. Gotcha.
So yeah, there's that. Any questions so far about the guy?
The guy, that
Bahamut,
good boy.
That good boy.
No.
Dragon Jesus.
Not so far.
All right. Well, I'm a little parched, and I think it's time we take a short rest.
That's where we drink in the short rest.
Yeah, but not alcohol. We drink water and Monster.
I mean, speak for yourself.
All right. Fair enough. Let's go.
Whoa, hey, welcome to the short rest. We don't talk about the last thing that we were talking about because we're resting from that specifically. So let's talk about how much we love listeners. Will, tell me again how much you love listeners.
All the much.
All of it. 100% love for listeners all the time, especially the ones that are you hearing this. All of them. Damn. What else can I say? We love them so much that we run contests for them. Will, can you give me some details about the contest that we're currently running for our listeners that we love so much?
Yes. In fact, this is the last episode that's airing before we announce the winners of the contest. We are giving away 2 basic D&D starter kits.
That's true.
On March 1st. And there are 2 ways to enter, and you can enter twice. The first way to enter is tweeting a link to any of our episodes, whether they be SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube. It doesn't matter. Tweet a link to any of our episodes with the hashtag Dungeoncast, and you'll be entered into the contest. And the other way to enter is leaving us an iTunes review. If you leave us an iTunes review between now and the 1st of March, you'll be entered into the contest.
It really helps us out when you guys do that sort of stuff. Subscribing to the YouTube page, hitting the like button, no matter where it may be. All very good. Leaving the comments, lots of new people. Hello, new people. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Short Rest. If this is your first episode, hey. Yeah, I don't know. You can find us on SoundCloud. You can find us on SoundCloud.com/thedungeoncast. You can find us on YouTube by searching the Dungeoncast. You can hit us up with any kind of inquiry, thedungeoncast@gmail.com. Any podcast app, whatever. You'll find us. It's the Dungeoncast. You've probably found us because you're hearing it. But check us out on YouTube if you're listening to us on your phone from like an audio standpoint. If you want to see our faces or whatever, give us some love. We need love. Everybody needs love. We love you. Some of you say that you love us. We appreciate that. Let's go back to the show.
All right, we're back.
Yeah, Bahamut's that guy that he sees you in the gym and he knows your technique is wrong, but he's not judgmental about it. He just really wants to help you out. He goes over to you, he tells you what you're doing, and then he leaves you alone.
It's true. I'm glad that you brought up Bahamut in a weightlifting setting, because remember how Tiamat has her consorts?
Yeah.
Well, Bahamut has his bro squad.
And they lift.
And they lift.
But it's Bahamut's bro squad, so they're not asking you if you lift.
No,
they're just lifting and they're minding their business.
Indeed they are.
Well, unless you're doing evil.
Yeah, that's true.
And then they're minding that business.
Indeed they are.
Okay.
So Bahamut is always followed or always has nearby 7 what are called his 7 great golden worms, which are there's 7 ancient golden dragons.
Fuck.
And they roll deep, and they're like his greatest servants, his closest friends and allies.
This is the fucking Justice League.
This is Justice League. They're extremely powerful emissaries. Tasks that are important, but they don't require Bahamut's direct intervention. He just sends one of his dudes. Like,
cool.
One of you guys go get it.
And like, where are we drawing the line with direct? Like how pointing and clicking is pretty direct to me in my eyes. You basically did it. If you sent some unstoppable beast to go fucking do the thing you asked him to do, you basically did it.
I mean, when I say non-intervention policy, I mean non-intervention into like the direct lives of other people.
So he couldn't like cross the plane to...
Okay, we're going to get into crossing the plane. That's a big part of Bahamut and who he is. But like, and his 7 great worms come with him too.
So the 7 great worms are in the
We'll get
in
to
Bahamut
that.
land?
We'll get
Okay,
to that.
yeah.
Let's talk about the relationship he has with these 7 ancient dragons. Though, number one, they're not immortal. They're not like gods or angels or anything. They're just ancient golden dragons. So like they got a lifespan of like 1,500 to 5,000 years or whatever.
Yeah.
They do eventually die, and he does have to replace them or whatever.
Fuck.
They all have a title. And
Okay.
each title is based off like dragon, well, not a dragon anatomy, but like aspects of dragonness. So, like the claw of Bahamut, the eye of Bahamut, the wing of Bahamut, the voice, the tail, the fang, and the presence are the 7 titles of each of these worms.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
It's like that.
it's like that. When not only are these guys like his servants and allies, but they're actually also his counsel and his advisors. He takes their opinions seriously, and he realizes that he is not infallible. They're also the jury. They serve as the jury when he is standing in direct judgment of like an evil being or evil doing.
Okay.
Like,
okay.
so, again, justice, honor, nobility. Like,
Right.
defend yourself.
So there's like they're like adult golden dragons like hanging around like mopping up the floor and like making coffee and going on burrito runs.
Sure.
They're just like, well, I gotta wait for one of these guys to die and then I have to be ancient, so might as well just like fucking intern here for a while.
Okay, so Golden Dragon Internship is actually what Golden Dragons are just doing all the time. Remember in the Metallic Dragons
They're
episode?
just all interns.
Yeah, well, think about it. In the Metallic Dragons episode, we talked about how Golden Dragons are like the paladins of the dragon world, going out
True.
questing and finding evil and doing. And so the greatest of those are like, all right, you're one of my dudes now.
Sweet. Okay.
You know, my presence just died. I need a new presence.
Yeah, my wing is down. I need a new wing.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they do those things. Another thing they do is when he's not keeping them close, they are their duty is to attend his palace in Celestia. So they spend time at the palace, just doing whatever, keeping it clean,
Diplomacy,
whatever,
dusting.
So yeah, those are 7 great golden worms. Let's talk about his palace. Well, first let's talk about where he lives. So
Ooh, yeah.
Bahamut dwells in the plane of Celestia, which is like the polar opposite of the 9 hells. It's the 7 heavens. Again, with the 7.
Sweet.
Remember, 7
It's
is
a
related
sequel
to
to
Bahamut.
Dante's Inferno.
Indeed.
Whatever that one's called.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's the opposite of 9 hells. It's the ultimate plane of law and good. All here is beautiful and perfect. This plane of existence will get its own episode, and we'll go through the 7 layers. It's usually depicted as Great Mountain. So Bahamut's palace exists in the first 4 layers of Celestia, and the reason it does that is because it flies and it's carried by the wind.
Okay, sweet.
It is a glittering wonder.
That's why he likes the wind. It's like, cares my palace.
Yeah, sure.
We're bros.
It is a glittering wonder made entirely from his hoard.
Okay, I was going to ask about the Hoard. The palace is the Hoard.
The palace is the Hoard because the windows are made of gemstone and they're set in silver and gold. Like the walls are made of copper and jade, and the floors are made of beaten mithril.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's just how he rolls.
Okay.
Yeah, when he actually deigns to actually be here, which he often is never here, but when he is, he'll hold court. And for the most powerful of like worshippers and paladins and dragons that like pilgrimage here for his blessings and whatnot, he'll hold court. He'll like talk to them or whatever. Oftentimes Bahamut likes to test his dudes, like not his 7 bros, although I'm sure he tests them too, but like whoever makes a pilgrimage here with a fight. He's like, fight me. Just because like it's just, I guess, fun. He just wants to test them, like, and as soon as one of them, like,
at the end of this fight, if you haven't counted all the gems in every window of this place, you're fucking out of here.
Yeah, well, no, he wants, fight me.
Fight me.
Yeah, like he just bares his chest, like, right here. Give me the best shot you got.
I heard you lift. Show me.
Yeah, basically. That's basically it. It's just something he likes to do.
Okay.
Celestia he's not the only god in Celestia. I believe like Moradin and Torm are 2 deities that live here. Moradin is like the great dwarven deity of law and good.
Oh, okay, cool.
And they'll get their own episodes. But angels dwell here. A lot of angels serve Bahamut. Archons and other just celestial beings live here.
Okay.
Any more questions about his palace in Celestia?
This dude is weirding me out. Bahamut is weird.
I guess he's kind of an odd dude. I mean, he has a horde. What do you want? He's a dragon.
I know. Well, that makes sense, but
But he's never there either.
I think in context, all of it would be really cool. But like, since you're just hitting me blind with like, so he just fights dudes, his own dudes.
Well, yeah, but he has like healers on the side. He just wants to test them, and like whoever what's the word when you give in a fight, when you tap
cry
out,
uncle,
whoever
mercy.
when you cry uncle, whoever taps out, and it's like, oh, good job.
So are people? Well, that's why I was like, what's to what end? Because like you're fighting Bahamut, isn't he gonna win like every contest?
Probably, but I mean, he's not gonna fight you like in his god form. He's gonna fight you in his avatar. You know what I mean? So like his avatar is defeatable technically.
Can you?
But
explain?
they're not fighting to the death too. Like,
Well, no, I get that,
yeah.
but like, can you explain the avatar thing to me? What's that about?
Okay, so all right, let's talk about Deitydom for a second.
Yeah, hit me.
So gods are supposed to be these infinite, omnipotent entities, right? Well, maybe not omnipotent, but definitely and this infinite, powerful entity.
Yeah, like in D&D, they have limits
To a certain extent,
right?
Especially these lesser deities. But we're just going to talk about deities as a whole. So they're these divine entities of infinity that their power has no limit. Like they don't run out of energy. They don't run out of power.
Yeah, they don't get like tired.
Yeah, they don't get tired. They're also like in their infiniteness, like outside of the scope of like mortal understanding.
Sure.
And they can't exist in these planes, even I would say even in like Celestia, in their like true god form. Like
Okay.
they have like an avatar form, basically. Like I don't know, like
They make like a physical shell, or like what
I
do
guess
you,
so. I guess you
okay.
could put it like that. And the shell can be broken.
Like here's my
But they won't
representation.
die.
Yeah.
Now with Bahamut, it's a little different because he is a lesser deity most of the time. So I think it could be argued that no, he doesn't do the whole avatar thing in Celestia. He only does the avatar thing in the prime material plane.
Okay, so he's
But
most
all
of the time
it's
he's like
kind of wishy-washy, unclear, and it's really up to the DM as far as I'm concerned.
okay, that's starting to click a little better for me.
So the thing is, it's not well defined because it shouldn't be well defined, and
'Cause you're
like, he
leaving
is
it
an
up to-
immortal deity.
I get you.
He's got the shard of divine in him.
I think that's where I was getting confused because I'm like, where are we drawing lines here? You know,
Right.
Like why are we bothering with the fight?
I will say this: there's no way, even in his avatar form, that Bahamut's coming at anybody at 100%.
Right, that'd be
he's exceptionally powerful.
It's like Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think he's got 3 breaths. He's got a cold breath. He's got, I think, a breath that stuns. And most importantly, he's got like a fucking blue laser beam that just disintegrates shit.
Hell yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I want to hear.
Yeah, so he's got that. So yeah, he's definitely not coming at his boys like 100%, but he wants to see what they're capable of.
Yeah, let's just see what you got. Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's just fun, I guess, to him.
He's into it. All right.
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay.
It's like backyard boxing, but on a much bigger scale. Anyways,
Backyard box me inside my house with our dragon breaths. Let's
I
go.
know, right?
So who is making the pilgrimage again? Because I just pictured.
extremely powerful, like level 25 paladins and
Okay.
like dragons and shit.
People
like,
are able to transcend planes
yeah,
and shit.
I mean,
and
I'm
like,
sure angels like come and visit his ass. Like, yeah,
he's like, welcome to my palace. I bet you like all my gold. Time to fight.
yeah. There it is.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Okay, so like I said, he's not often here in this palace, this unnamed.
Yeah, he's out
palace.
justicing and whatnot.
No, he's not doing that either.
Oh, weird. What?
He
Oh, right. He's got bros for that.
no, let me just spit it out. Okay. So he spends most of his time wandering the world, the mortal world, in the form of an old, simply robed man, and just kind of wandering the world, kind of taking it in. And all his golden dragons are disguised as canaries. So often
Okay,
these canaries will
canaries.
be somewhere nearby because obviously they're not going to leave Bahamut.
That's kind of interesting. The
And-
canary.
Yeah. So he's the old man with the canaries, and like there's all this folklore around this entity. If you come across him, like that's Bahamut in disguise. So,
Okay.
like, he's usually there for a reason. I mean, I said he wasn't out justicing. It's because he's not directly justicing. But
Right.
he is kind of
Surveying.
guiding. He's surveying, but he's also kind of guiding the field. So he's big about giving advice,
Okay.
or information to travelers.
So nudging the pieces in the right direction.
Yeah, he often assumes this kind of sage persona.
Okay.
Like
That's kind of
you
cool.
meet this old man and you camp together for the night, and like in the night he tells a story giving this cryptic advice that's like bordering on prophecy.
Okay,
and
yeah.
then you never see him again.
And he like semi-bards you into like doing the deed.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Or like, yeah, a paladin is like on his quest and he's come across this information that has him super conflicted, and it's like shattering his reality. And suddenly he meets this old man on the road who serendipitously just gives this like insightful, sagacious advice that
Tells him what he needs to hear.
tells him what he needs to hear.
Yeah.
That's Bahamut doing his thing on the mortal plane.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, he's really cool. So let's talk about Dragonlance for a minute, because in Dragonlance, the setting,
Yeah.
the major deity of good is a deity called Paladine, and he's basically Bahamut.
Okay.
And there's a lot taken from all this lore, but this whole man with the canaries thing is really turned around and changed. In Dragonlance, Paladine likes to disguise himself as an old befuddled wizard who goes by the name of Fizban the Fabulous.
Oh, we've talked about Fizban.
I think we have, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe in the Wizards episode. I'm having a hard time remembering now.
I don't remember when, but that's a ridiculous ass name, and I definitely heard it.
Fizban's
You say
great.
it.
And he basically plays like this old senile wizard who like pretends, or I mean,
The crazy old man
he's
who's
a crazy
actually
old man
saying
who's
some really
actually saying
clairvoyant
some,
shit.
exactly that.
Yeah, okay.
And like he can't remember how to cast his spells except for in like the key moments where it's like, oh shit, it's about to go down. Suddenly he casts a fireball spell and he turns the whole thing around.
He's like, oh, that was weird.
Yeah, like, oh, how did I do that? Who are you again?
Shit.
Yeah, he's that.
Okay, yeah.
And of course, when things get very serious, like the facade kind of fades and he gets really serious and hyper intelligent and all that stuff. I love Fizban. He's a great character. If you're interested in Fizban the Fabulous, I suggest you read the Chronicles series from Dragonlance. I think it's Dragons of Autumn Twilight, Dragons of Winter Night, Dragons of Spring Dawn, and Dragons of Summer Flame. Really good stuff in there.
Cool. Those are cool titles.
And yeah, Fizban the Fabulous. He's really cool. Let's talk a little bit about the clergy. There isn't much of one. There's not a lot of temples. Bahamut doesn't really have clerics. He has paladins. And paladins don't usually need like
Yeah, they're not in the
temple.
church.
Yeah, they're out doing shit, which is what Bahamut wants. He prefers his worshippers to honor him with deeds, not with objects. So there's not very many temples, not very many shrines.
Right.
Again, this is very counter to dragon nosity.
Oh,
most
that
dragons
ego-
like
that
themes,
ego element.
that ego,
Yeah.
that greed. That's not Bahamut's deal. And this is, I think, why silver and gold dragons like aspire to be more like Bahamut, because Bahamut's kind of divorced himself from like the material.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So orders of questing paladins, they're all over the place worshiping Bahamut.
So like the Templars, is that like a that's like a cult almost? Like
talking about real life?
Yeah, well, it is technically a cult, but like in fantasy, you could see like the Templars are like the Templars of Bahamut. They're
Sure,
like
yeah.
almost like an adventurers guild kind of, where I'm imagining like, hey, we're doing this today. I'm sending you on this quest. I'm sending you guys on this quest.
Right. Now,
Okay,
again,
in like the name of Bahamut, is that how it might work?
that's how it might work. Now, again, this is just the classic lore. I don't actually do this in my campaign settings. I usually have like a huge city of like a dragonborn, like borderline empire, and like Bahamut's like their deal, and they've got these grand palaces and castles and whatnot.
And like an army
And
and
Bahamut's
shit.
not really about that, but he's also like, yeah, that's cool, whatever. But like, I don't have it like this where there's not like a structured organization. In my world, Bahamut's clergy does have a structured organization, but this is the classic lore, so that's
Okay.
what I'm saying. But yeah, do you got any questions about Bahamut? Because I'm out of notes and things.
I do want
say
to talk
off the top of
about
my head.
Glader, because in this context, I can picture Bahamut being this entity.
Okay.
But also like I need like kind of a rogue guy.
So in our old campaign, we had a player who's been on the show, Jake, who
Special
ran
guest
a
Jake,
Dragonborn paladin
Yeah.
named Glader, who was I think he took the Oath of Vengeance.
Yeah.
And he wanted to be all about justice. He wanted to be a real Punisher, kind of Batman-esque kind of figure.
Yeah.
He chose Bahamut because that's the god of justice. And like he definitely had a different take. Like
Yeah, Glader was like a fucking super murderer though,
yeah, he
also.
was. He killed motherfuckers.
But
And-
not in he did it in the name of he killed evil things in the name of justice for Bahamut.
Right. Which
Like an evil eraser kind of.
I would definitely say that like classic Bahamut would not be a fan of the way Glader did anything ever.
Okay.
But that's okay. Like it's our campaign, it's our world, and that's the way we decided it would be. So that's what we
totally.
did.
Well, I kind of like this like bro like Bahamut that we've kind of depicted here, like being like yeah, I'm like this old man, I have my 7 canaries, and we do shit like our way. But like, I also need that guy to do some of the things he's doing.
Yeah, I do find that that's contradictory, which kind of undercuts everything that Bahamut's about.
Yeah.
But if that's what you want to explore, that's good character development.
That's
So,
You're right. You're
yeah.
right.
But also, like, it's a very realistic outlook on how things would have to get done. So, yeah.
Totally.
But Bahamut's not about realism. He's an idealist. Anyways, I think we're done. Are we done?
Yeah, Bahamut weirds me out a little bit, but
Really?
I like him.
I would say that Bahamut's, if not my favorite deity, he's definitely in the top 3.
I like him a lot because it's like the de facto, like, I choose Bahamut as my god. It's like a solid pick to get shit done as an adventurer. It's more like, I think per setting is how I'm going to feel about Bahamut. You know,
I can agree with that.
What are
definitely.
people doing with this information?
Right.
To make it like fit, because it's very like, this is info is like sticking out like a sore thumb to me, especially when we talk about so much like other like demon shit. This is like
I think that's what's happening here is you're not used to talking about like the powers of good.
And like how they're woven into things.
Yeah.
And like
we're going to talk a lot more about the powers of good probably as this year goes on, because there's a lot of them out there. We're going to talk about solar angels. We're going to talk about other good deities. We're going to talk about all kinds of stuff that we
maybe I'll get more used to it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
All right,
Let's call it a game.
let's call it a game. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
The Dungeoncast.
Did you see Freeland hit that Bobby Boucher quote?
Yeah, which is what I was referring to in the Lizardfolk episode.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.